Hello, everyone. Um, Last night I did a live with Cracking Cases, as most of y'all know. My audio was horrible. I hope it's better today, but I thought, why not just go live and have an open panel? Everybody has theories, everybody has what they think may have happened, and I thought maybe that would be a good idea to do today. Now, this morning I have also seen a live that Ernie done with Candace. And I noticed in that live, she said that none of the buildings on the outside had basements. Well, Cracking Cases, and I believe them, said that the shed, the gray shed, had like a basement area, like a cellar where canned food and stuff used to be put. And that when law enforcement came up there, they didn't have a key, so they had to kick it in to search it. I even asked in that live, did anything look nefarious when you went in? He said no. But Candace is denying that there is even a shed that has a basement. Another thing that I found really, really odd was that she has said repeatedly that they haven't lawyered up. Well, when Ernie was asking her, did if he could search, she says, "I've been told by the higher ups not to." And he asked, "Was the higher ups Don?" She said, "No, a lawyer told her." And I think I have that right here. Give me just a second. I'll let you hear that. But I mean, if you haven't lawyered up, how did a lawyer tell you anything about that case? They don't just call people up and say, "Hey, here's good advice. Take it or leave it." No, usually you have to get a lawyer for them to be giving you advice. Give me just a second and I'll pull that audio up. Okay. So she said Donnie owns the property, but I own his lot, so right. It goes hand in hand. Is he the higher up? Is it not concerned? No. He's not. No. I've been told that by a lawyer. Oh. But how did the lawyer know that I want to search the property? Right, don't you think fucking lawyers up there going this way? Okay, so what she was saying was, don't you think that lawyers watch YouTube? Well, yeah, they probably do. But I don't think they're calling you up to give you just free advice on the whim. And even if they watched YouTube, how would they know? He's kind of right there. Hello, Blue Moon. Thanks for joining us today. It's I'm kind of going over what Cracking Cases and myself was talking about last night. My audio was real bad. How is my audio right now? Because I hope I fixed it, but I have no clue. But anyways, like I said last night, I'm not one that likes to, I'm not going to accuse someone without facts. However, some things are looking really, really, really shady. Thank you. Thank you so much. But okay, like we were talking about last night. If we go back to the first interview, she says that her and Summer and Grandma was planting flowers. Summer went in got a piece of candy, and then said she wanted to go back to the house. She said she walked Summer over to the house, watched her go in the door, and then said, "Hey, Waylon, watch Summer. I'll be back in a minute," or something to that effect. You can see that door that they go in. Now, I'm not talking about the door at the basement. I'm talking about the door like she went in with Chris Madonna when they first went in the house. You can see that from Candy Hare's camper trailer. Why would she walk her halfway? I wouldn't. I would have probably said, "Okay, I'll be on in a minute. I've got to help her with her knee brace." But she goes in and gives more details and says she walked her halfway there, watched her go in, and that's the last time she sees her. So that makes no sense to me. And why she's saying there's not a basement on one of those sheds when Cracking Cases has seen it, that makes no sense to me. But still, I mean, when I went to Rogersville, I will say this, and this has hounded me, but from the bottom of Ben Hill to the Kentucky line when I was coming home, I'll give it an hour. And Ben Hill goes, Beech Creek goes most of that way through Rogersville. So if it took 45 minutes for the police to get up there, and we still don't know how long they were searching before they called the police, if Summer had wandered off, and I think she did, I think she was bad to wander. All signs point to it. But if Summer had wandered off and someone saw her and got her, they could have been to Kentucky before the police was ever on that hill. And then you've got Virginia that borders with Tennessee. They could have been there. I mean, just to rule it down to, she wandered off and got hurt, or that there is no abduction, I kind of find that careless, not because I think somebody went up on that hill and just stalked that house. No. But had she wandered down to a road, and we know how the RSOs are up in there, I think it could have been a crime of opportunity. Now, if anybody wants to come on panel, I will put the link down because I'd like to have an open discussion today, which I think I've got it pinned up there anyway. But just a second. I'm new at this, so please bear with me. But another thing that I'm noticing is the events of that day stay pretty consistent when it was Dawn been the one on YouTube. Now there's things been added that we didn't hear. For instance, we never heard that Grandma took a nap. A nap can be a pretty big thing. I would think I don't nap for 5 seconds. That's a time limit right there. When did she take that nap? Did she take it after before she did her knee? Was there a gap between when they put the groceries up? See, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And the people that's come into this case afterwards with so much information that's injected themselves into this case, a lot of those don't make sense. Like Jody Sue's looking for Summer before she knew Summer was missing. That always stands out with me. You've got Jackie Dobbs. We've got now Jose. Donald Sherfy. That showed up on the side of the road, and then after that we found out all kinds of nefarious things out about his son. Then Dudley, how long did he wait? Then he did an interview. I mean, it don't seem like you've got a solid person. Well, there is one person that I find that is just, well, to me, she seems credible, and that's Robin. Now, I know Robin got a hard way to go for a long time, but Robin seemed like she was. Okay, just a second. Exactly. We don't know what they've said, but that also makes me wonder if they had said something that was real incriminating, why have they not been locked up? And like I said, like I was telling Cam with cracking cases last night, you've got these people, and all of them are saying how horrible the Wells was. Saw Don showering with Summer. Jose says he told her to get out of that shower, which is odd to me. I mean, I don't think a kid should be showering with a male, period, but to have another male that's not even a family member to tell her to get out of the shower and tell him that she didn't need to be showering with him. Well, does that not have the little girl walking out into the house naked? I mean, and I think we know that Don he'd have probably got that beer bottle thrown at him right then. But anyways, he said he seen that. Then you hear Leslie say she put the boys on the blacktop. My question is this, and I said this last night, but like I said, my audio was horrible last night. If all these people saw these kids being abused and mistreated so bad, why did not one of them call the law and report it? Why did they not say, hey, this is going on? Call CPS. You can check back with CPS and make sure your complaint has been followed up on. Why didn't nobody do that? Blue Moon, would you like to come on panel, or you can ask your question in the comments, either one. Sometimes it's pretty good to have somebody to bounce things off of. But the link is in chat if you want to come up. I mean, I am not for or against the parents. I'm not. I'm wherever the evidence leads. And at first, I mean, if you saw me in chats, it'd been like, well, really, their story hasn't changed. It's been the same thing. But now, I mean, I will straight up tell you, Candace's story is changing. And it seems to be changing a lot now that she's talking to Ernie. The thing about the phones, I mean, they said Don had a phone when he was going to jail that Tim Mullins downloaded it onto the computer, and this was all reported to TBI by Benny. And I understand all that, but my thing is, if they thought it was important, why have they not got that copy? I know it's hard to go through Apple. I mean, they can get it through Apple, but it's hard. It's a long process. But if he's got all the information on his computer, why not get a warrant for it? I mean, if it's that important. Let's see here. And yes, I have a problem with, which most people that see my videos know, it don't feel like it don't feel like to me that Allie's story is staying consistent either, because in Chris Madonna's, they got home at 2:30. Hunter went with his girl and to Bristol, and Allie went to a football game with Leslie, and they called and said that Summer was missing. Exactly, Bloomin'. And I mean, last night I mentioned that. Uh, you're correct. I mean, if here's my theory on that. This is just speaking from my point of view. I know everybody reacts to stuff. If someone threatened to shoot me, I'm not going on to work. No, I'm not going on to work. I'm getting the law and I'm getting my babies off that mountain. I'm not leaving them up there not 1 second, because if she can threaten to kill me, what's she going to do to my kids? However, I'm not going to let my kids go with somebody that I don't trust. Exactly. And like Leslie said that she seen them. If she would have called and she'd have said, hey, which I don't know if she's a nurse. I don't. She said she was in the medical field or whatever. But first of all, if I'm having my kids a birthday party and this woman flips a pool over because she's upset with a grown-up because of the way the grown-up is treating her kids, if Leslie would have done that at my house, me and her would have had words. It's my stuff. You don't flip it over. It's my kid's birthday party. No, I ain't having no grown-up flipping a pool they're playing in over. That ain't happening. And if she is a nurse, if she would have called, I feel they would have took her seriously. I would have. But even if somebody feels like that, well, I won't be took seriously. Be persistent. Say, hey, I'll stand right here until you come and check this out. But this lady's mistreating these kids. I mean, everybody that's come out has had some kind of abuse story. Everybody has, that they were abusing the kids. And if the Wells are guilty, they need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. But anybody that saw those children mistreated, abused, SA'd, and didn't report it, they are the problem. Because at any of those, if those things happen at any one of those incidents, if CPS would have been called and made to step in and the law, Summer wouldn't have been there on June the 15th. That's my opinion. But I mean, and I know CPS can fail sometimes. But if you are really abusing a kid physically to the point that you're putting them on blacktop in the hot sun after they've been wet, there's going to be marks. If you're mistreating them that bad, there's probably going to be lots of marks on them. So that would be evidence. And I mean, all this it's my opinions. There's nobody on YouTube going to solve this case. There's not. Um, I think some things that's put out, it kind of takes away from the case because we get so stuck in a rabbit hole that we're not at putting out the information about Summer as much because we're talking about these theories and speculations so much. But like I was telling Cracking Cases last night, Summer's changed my life. And because I sat here and I was thinking, man, I put out flyers in Kentucky. That way, I mean, if she was took, somebody would see them, hopefully. I listened to so many channels. And then I thought, well, I'd like to see something that's just putting out what we actually know. So then I created my channel. And then me and my husband was talking, and nothing seems to really make a big difference. So we prayed about it. And I decided for me, the best thing that I could do was start right here at home and become a foster parent. And that's what we done. So, I mean, we've got to do what we got to do. But I think Summer's case has affected people in so many different ways. And she's touched the heart of a lot of people. So one thing that I can't, it bothers me is hearing the SA label put on this baby. Because we have no facts showing that. And Lord forbid, what if she is found? I mean, think about that. What if she is found? And one day she's old enough and she sees these videos on YouTube alleging stuff that's happened to her. Or we can go to the present because there's 3 kids there. And in the first interview I heard with Don, he said the kids was watching YouTube. What if they're watching this? I mean, it is possible. What if they're watching it? So, I mean, I like to keep things respectful to the level that, you know, if they did see it, it wouldn't be ripping them apart. And I just hope a lot of people are thinking like that. I hope they're thinking about the what if. What if the boys are watching? What if one day Summer sees this? Are we really putting out something that we would want them to see? If nobody else on earth was watching this case, have we put out something that we would want these kids to see? I mean, and one thing I sure don't want to happen is this to turn into a cold case. On my channel right now, there's a video about Jennifer Bailey. August will make 32 years. 32 years that woman's been murdered and justice hasn't been served. They're no closer today than they were 32 years ago. And I sure don't want that to turn into Summer's case. But no, my audio was pretty bad last night when I was talking to Cracking Cases, and then it tried to storm and the internet kicked me out. But I think they're doing a great job. They've actually searched. I mean, I'm not talking about just walk alongside the road and look at a building. No, they've actually been out there and they've actually searched. They haven't put everything on YouTube that they find because it could be relevant to the case. They've been completely transparent. I mean, anytime that something's been misunderstood, they've been right on it, trying to straighten it up. So I trust Cam and Allie when they say that that building had a basement in it. I believe it did. But I just wanted to do a short live today. These are just some things to think about. And if nothing's took away, I would want it to people to think, if you're making a video, is it something that you would want the boys to watch? I mean, is that what we're doing? Are the videos we're putting out something that we would approve for those boys to see? And Summer, I gotta hold on faith that Summer's coming home, whether it's to Ben Hill or not, that she's going to be found. And I personally don't want to put out anything that I wouldn't want them to see. I just wonder, are we helping or are we hurting? Because there's a lot of speculations going on that we have nothing to back it up but somebody's word. And if anything, this case has got abundance of liars. Oh, thank you. I saw you see me. Yeah, last night my audio was horrible. And it didn't help none that it was trying to come a storm here either. So it was trying to knock my internet out. The cards was not in my favor last night. So I wanted to come on here and kind of give an open panel. Give me just a second. You know, that is true. That is true. I give CM credit because he did get a lot of information out there. A lot of these things we wouldn't know if it wasn't for his interviews. But I would hope, being a professional now, and this is my only thing, I like the information from his channels. But being a professional, your opinion weighs a little heavier with people than just the average Joe. And right out of the gate, I mean, right up to saying that he thought Don was in the shed and that Candace didn't want him to look in the shed. Well, I watched that interview. She said he could. She did. So I think that swayed people's opinions a lot. And I think that was pretty much the beginning of people speculating. And yeah, Cam and Allie, they are great now. Cam and Allie and Chasen are two of my favorite channels because they're not quick to put out these theories. And I have seen some wild theories where they've been blowing pictures up and looking in the pixel and find this little bit of dust and that's a clue. Well, no, I'm not about all that. I'd rather just stick to what we know. If it's credible and it seems like they're credible, then good. But where I stand right now is there is so many people, and I said this last night, I'll say it again. So many people saying what they seen the Wells do. Not one of them called the law. And I'm sorry, but that's letting those babies down. Summer deserves our best. And everybody's saying, I loved her like she was my own. And in the same breath, your mom standing beside you saying that she saw her give her alcohol. Did you love her like she was your own? Because straight up, I'm going to tell you, if somebody gave one of my kids alcohol, that would probably send me to jail. Because I'm going to lose my cool right there. And my kids have friends that call me Mama till today. And There ain't no way I'd stand by and see somebody mistreat one of them. I wouldn't stand by and see a stranger mistreat their kid and not report it. So how can you say that you love this kid? You love them boys, but yet you supposedly, allegedly, saw all this abuse going on and didn't call the law. Now, when Molly Golightly, JLR, and Bullhorn Betty pulled all them 911 calls, I don't know about you all, but I didn't hear one where they said they're abusing the children. I need law enforcement out here right now. Not one of those calls said that. It was domestic in between with Don and Candace. Yes. And I often wonder why in the world the cops left them there with them drunk like that. But not one of those calls was made because those kids was being abused. Everybody wanting to be a hero. Unfortunately, nobody was. I think it is our obligation as adults, if we see children being mistreated with our eyes, if you're in the grocery store, doing a neighborhood walk, at a football game, I don't care where you are. If you see a kid being mistreated, it is your obligation as a human being, as a decent one, to call the law and call CPS on them. Because you never know. You may have saved that kid's life. And these babies are innocent. I mean, they can't help who they're born to. But if you're seeing them abused and don't report it, you're the problem. And everybody that has come out, and this has bugged me so much because I haven't heard people say it. Everybody that has come out has said, yeah, this happened to him. I seen this. I saw Don showering with Summer. I saw Candace would just smack the boys. I saw her put them on blacktop in the scorching heat to burn them, to burn their skin. Everybody saw all this abuse, but nobody called the law. Nobody did. Nobody called CPS. The only thing that I've heard CPS being called on is when they were having kind of a vendetta against each other, and it kind of sounded like they was calling CPS on each other. But shoot, call the law. Make them come out there right then. I mean, don't let a kid be abused if you truly see that. You're not the hero in this story. Welcome. I mean, even with Jose's. Now, I was like a lot of people. When I heard Jose's, and if you're just getting here, if you want to come on panel, you're more than welcome. I just asked you to be respectful. And I do like to kind of bounce stuff off other people. So if you do, just let me know. I've got the link on up in the chat, but I'll drop it again if somebody wants to come on panel and chat. But when Jose's, first of all, look how long it's took for Jose to speak out. And I was like everybody else. I was enamored with his interview. We got a glimpse of what Summer was like. And I think we all wanted that. And that's okay. I saw you see me. I was about to get tongue-tied with that, like your name. But I was enamored with that. I was thinking, because we've been waiting for months, just wanting to know what this kid's personality was like. Could she speak good? We've all been wondering. We've all fell in love with her. We just wanted a little details about her. And then he comes out and, he's telling stories about she wanted that pop. She didn't want juice. She didn't want water. She wanted the pop. Well, soda. which is kind of odd because we do call it Pop around here. But anyway, if you got hurt, she's the first one to come and help with your boo-boo. I mean, I was so excited to get those details. But then he says he was there 6 months. It was winter when he showed up. And then we go looking back at the pictures. He's not in none of those. I mean, how long was he really there? It looks like maybe 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. But, and the calling animal control on a snake, I live in the country. I'm not calling animal control to come and get a snake. I will kill that sucker. I mean, and I'm sorry, but it don't look like Candace is the type of person to be calling animal control either. And even Cracking Cases said last night she had one in the van and rode around with it. So, I mean, it's little things like that. And then when you think about the other things that he was talking about, him and Dawn got into it over the summer in the shower thing. If you think real hard, a lot of these stories you could have found on YouTube already. And he's telling that, and I hope he was a cooking and showing them how to clean and all that. I mean, I'm really hoping all that's true. But does it defeat the purpose of cooking for them? Making sure that they learn how to clean up after themselves and stuff like that. But yet, when you see them abused, you don't report it. I agree. That's me. I mean, I'm just confused on the whole story. I mean, I don't. Right now, it's at the point that we got to take about what anybody says with a grain of salt. I mean, but no, I was really excited to get some personality traits from Summer. But then you've got to wonder about those if other things aren't true. I'd like to think that she'd be the first one there wanting to help you. It seems like her vocabulary, most people have pretty much stuck to the same thing with that. You know, pretty flowers. That's what Candace said. And at 5, I mean, my kids was speaking full sentences to the point that they wasn't shutting up. Yeah, I noticed that too, Blue Moon. He cooked all these big meals, but Allie said only. Just a second. He cooked all these big meals, but Allie said had she said they only had microwave. She did say that. And am I the only one that noticed in that first interview Allie was falling asleep? I mean, I noticed her. She was flat out falling asleep while Hunter was giving his interview. And you love that kid like your own. I mean, if it's a spade, let's call it a spade. She says she was about run Candace over at the parade, but yet she wasn't at the parade. Well, I'm sorry, but all your inconsistencies kill your credibility. And if she was at that parade hollering, "They got your kid," while Candace and Robin, I think, maybe, don't quote me on that, but anyways, was holding the flyer for Summer in the parade, then I'm sorry, ma'am. That speaks volumes about your integrity. I mean, Right now, if any of my kids' friends went missing, I would be doing everything in my power to help that family. Even if I didn't like the mama and dad, there is a time to put differences. Grown-ups need to put differences aside when it comes to a missing kid. Not act like teenagers. And that's kind of what that feels like to me. Then Jackie Dobbs. He buys property, pays good money for property, then moves to Georgia after Summer goes missing. Okay, maybe he didn't like the property, but he's never been back to it. He's not trying to sell it, get his money back. So he was so gung-ho on having this property that he actually was camping out there. But he's just going to move to Georgia and forget he ever even bought it. Inappropriate behavior with your son. You let him go with person. Go. Yeah, and I've said that all along. Now, I have a grown son. He's got a wife, a family of his own right now. And I don't care if he was 10, 12, 15, 18. I don't care if he was 21. If he was living under my roof, then he obeys my rules. And especially if he was 15 years old. If I didn't trust her and I thought that she was this bad person that abuses her own kids, I'm not letting my kid go with her. It's not happening. And they said, well, just because we had it out don't mean that the kids should have had to pay. Okay. That ain't about that. That ain't about making kids suffer. It's about protecting your child. And if you think this woman is abusing her kids, you don't send your kid with her. Unless you're looking for a free babysitter. And I kind of see that as that. Oh, no problem, Blue Moon. I'll tell you what, if it was a technical problem last night, I had it. Would y'all like to see that latest interview with Allie and them? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to. Let me see here. Exactly. And there was a statement that Hunter made with Chris Madonna when he was talking about the alcohol drink. What was it? As Twisted Tea. He said when he was telling Chris Madonna, he said, and he points at Allie, he said, you can ask her. She does that all the time. Well, that tells me if I can ask your mom if Candace gave you alcohol, because Candace does that all the time, your mom knew that she gave minors alcohol when you left in that vehicle to go to Warriors Park. Give me just a second and I'll find that interview. Let me see here. I'm just trying to pull it up. Give me just a moment. Okay. Now bear with me. I'm brand new at this, so Okay. Okay, here we go.
Try this bizarre 6-second method tonight to reverse type 2 diabetes from the comfort of
What
your
in
own
the
home.
world? Just a
Most people
second.
continue to take blood sugar medications because...
Okay. Okay.
What do you mean? Oh my God! Oh my God! It's them! I gotta go.
Come on, go.
It's Hunter's family.
Okay, good.
Okay, can y'all hear it? If you can hear this, the audio, let me know. Okay, so let's watch it.
Let's go ask them
All
right
right,
to
let's
their
go,
face.
let's go.
Right, we're on a public street. Who cares? Fuck.
And am I the only one that thinks that she was a little bit too excited? I mean, it wasn't Vin Diesel walking down the street.
Let's go. That's them. Let's go.
My kitty! My kitty!
We've been everywhere looking for her. Everywhere looking for her.
So,
If somebody come up to you and said that, would that not freak you out a little bit? I mean, I'm just saying.
Hi, how are you guys?
it's Allison. It's Allison.
Allison, how are you? God bless you. How are you?
Hunter's mom. How are you?
She's going through a lot.
I know.
She's going through a lot.
Well, we did talk to Dawn last night.
Did
But
you?
more importantly, more importantly, I will tell you this. We talked to their neighbors.
I don't have nothing to say about it.
No, actually, they said a lot.
They said a lot.
They said a lot.
Oh my God.
One of them said something very upsetting.
Listen, I tried to help the woman.
Sherry, just stop.
And,
You ain't gotta worry
Come on,
about
you
my
just shut up. You're dead anyway.
What do you mean? Like, would you try to help the woman? Like what?
Oh,
Also, kind of notice their demeanor and the way they act when somebody that isn't former law enforcement is interviewing them. Because now this lady right here, she wasn't in the other interview, but kind of looks like she's on something.
I'm not giving kids alcohol and drugs.
She gave Summer alcohol and drugs.
She said that you're really Sherry, that she's really
Really?
lucky.
Did you see it?
And then I'm like, no, that's
When did
not
she
the
do that?
case. And they're like,
Okay, so she saw her give Summer alcohol. She didn't report it.
how do you know? Do you know this kind of family? Oh, yeah, they've for like over 20 years. Yeah, I know this family.
My kids are Texas dogs.
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah, I'm an animal lover. I saw your kitty right there, and it's like, so she would give Summer, Candace would give Summer drugs and alcohol.
I know alcohol without.
Did Don gave Candace drugs and alcohol too.
I honestly think that they,
I
you know, it's really big.
The boys too? Everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I ask you?
And I think
So they were giving drugs and alcohol to everybody. This woman's seen it. And I know she's saying this because, well, it sure don't make Candace and them look good. But to me, she looks worse because she's seen this and she did not recall the law.
Did- You think? No. Do you think Candace was, or Summer was sexually molested by any way by the family? I mean, because we're hearing rumors. You do. By who? Don? Or probably the mother too. Candace.
And I'm sorry, but when people say probably, that's not facts. That's their opinion. And if she suspected this again, why did she not call the law?
Wow.
So do you feel
but this
What do you feel happened to her?
said that he wasn't going to put it on
It could be
TV
a
or
couple things
Facebook.
like
Did
where she went and asked for a piece of candy.
you sign something?
The grandmother had to came from the doctor's office that day. Probably had to fill it out. And Summer went and told him the piece of
I've
candy.
heard a lot of negative things about Chris.
Oh, eat the pills.
Okay, listen in the background right here. You just heard, I heard a lot of negative things about Chris. Now, if you'll pay attention, they insinuate they didn't know that they was going to be on YouTube. I find that kind of hard to believe. Chris is not going to go up there and mislead them because he is ex-law enforcement. I think he told them about his channel. I think he told them that they would be on it. He asked, did they care if he recorded? They said no.
Is that like the rumor going on like that?
At
At the house, you think she took that?
I checked. I came over at 2 a.m. and checked everybody. Green? They were sleeping. Yep, and then whatchamacallit there, Jeffrey Dunn, he called my son's address.
Did you ever see Candace mom hit Summer?
No.
Who are you?
Blue Moon, that's absolutely right.
Oh, your brother? Or your mother? Oh, what's your name? Sherry. Yeah. How are you? Yeah.
They put it out there that I'm doing.
okay?
Who put it out there?
Candace
Can
Diamond.
I ask you something? This is gonna probably upset you.
Did I miss that? I've never seen an interview where they said Sherry was dead, which I haven't. I know there's interviews I probably didn't see.
But you know, with him going
Right here.
to the watering hole with Candace and her giving alcohol, do you think that she did something with him? No.
With Candace.
You don't think so?
Wait a minute.
Her and her mother.
Candace was sexually probably did do something to Hunter.
No, she did not.
Okay. I have to laugh there because that's what you get when you catch people off guard. Because Allie's like, no, she did not. And, you know, Mama here, she says she did. But again, if you thought that that was happening, why did Hunter get to go that day?
Bullshit. I seen it with my own eyes. There was signs there. There was signs there. I didn't like it. I warned them. I backed the fuck down. Yeah,
It was not
be in
such a-
denial, but the truth hurts.
I think they
I think they were too because she gave them alcohol and shit, and the kids didn't know what was going on.
Oh goodness! When you know there's a
They actually create high quality live streams for free.
commercial, but Allie stormed off.
And
Because that was the sentiments of the neighbors there, that she was a sexual neighbor. So that's the only reason. I didn't mean to upset you, Sam, I didn't. But that was the reason I was asking that.
it bothers me too. He's my grandson.
we all went, oh my God, like that.
Yeah.
Right at the car.
Who's your grandson?
Right up.
Oh, Hunter. Oh, yeah.
Well,
How's Hunter doing?
Yeah, when she'll come back out and talk to us.
How's Hunter doing?
I don't think she ever went to play.
He's really messed up.
I don't know. No one
Yeah.
could witness that she was up there planting
And
flowers.
a lot of it has to do with them.
I agree. I agree with you. And you know what?
If you notice in the background, I have said all along that I think adults kind of coached Hunter. I'm not saying Hunter did anything this summer. In no way. But I've always thought that the adults kind of coached him into what to say, and he kind of gives the impression that he thought something happened to her with like second dry drowning. Well, they just mentioned it, so you can tell that the adults probably was talking about that around him.
Enough is enough. It's been. I'm sorry.
It makes me
Yeah.
mad.
It doesn't take
It's
long.
been 6 months.
People
It's
think
been
that
6 months, and
And I
why?
think that baby
somebody goes
was
under that
You do.
they are not under very
On the
It
land.
matters about how
Or out
much water
the
you get in your
They got
lungs.
that something with that
And the water in your lungs is like
or whatever.
Where's that at?
I don't
You
know.
know, and what's the station that hit her head?
What about that cemetery across the street from that? You ever been in the house?
Yes.
You been up there?
I
There were
very
certain
much
things I
believe
didn't like,
that
so I
these
just cut my
children
ties.
Like what? What didn't you like?
in
Or
love
giving the kids
were
alcohol.
told by the same neighbor that these children.
Okay, so there were certain things she didn't like, so she cut her ties. He says, what? She said, like them giving her alcohol. Yeah, cut your ties, but don't cut your ties before you call the law. Call CPS, call the law. I mean, if alcohol is being gave to minors and you call the law when you see it done, they can test their blood for that and know you're not lying. Anyways.
Got a bath maybe once a week.
If
Is the house- is the-
if you're lucky. And the father would take the little girl in the shower and brought her downstairs to go to sleep one night naked, no nothing.
That's ridiculous. Like Ryan won't even give Addie a bath. Like
I'm sorry.
too many things can be said
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So like my God, my daughter's father won't even give her a bath.
Okay, and there's that bath thing. Again, she is a well of information. But out of everything that she saw, she didn't call the law. Nope. I've got a feeling she's a big gossiper. Now, yes, Blue Moon. And I watched that video too. That is a flower planter. You can buy them at Lowe's. And it looks like it's an old one at that. It's weathered.
You know,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
when
how-
I was
What's their-
growing
what's their
up, I
house
felt
look like
when I
inside?
was
Is it a
growing up,
mess?
Nobody thought anything of it. But
Did
It
you
wasn't
see, like-
dirty. It was
What did you
nuisance.
see all over the
Now
place?
it's like you go days
Oh,
out here and get
garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage on the floor and stuff? How many dogs they got?
Sorry, I wasn't trying. I don't think she was that bad at me. I think she was
She may have been.
Yeah, she was mad at her. But that's mother-daughter thing. Don't worry about that.
No, but they say if they do to her on her phone.
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you believe the kidnapping theory?
Watching her daughter cheerlead with her daughter's boyfriend. And
If it was, who could have kidnapped her? Like, I mean, do they have any like enemies?
Is
Probably,
cheerleading.
I don't know, but
When she was supposed to sing inside that, like
that's-
somebody.
But she has nothing to do with it. She's a.
Just doesn't make sense, right?
She's
Like,
holding
it cannot-
on.
we went there, And we saw all around Beach Creek up to Ben Hill, and it's that 11 acres there.
I will say with this interview, everybody is talking. So to get what everybody's saying, I went back and listened to each individual one the best I can. But while this lady right here is talking, it is so hard to understand what everybody else is saying. I mean, and she has to be told like 3 times, they're not talking to you.
Up on top of the hill. How can someone? Yeah, but how can somebody just come out of the middle of nowhere and say, "Hey, we're gonna go
How
kidnap"?
can the little girl, okay, the seller, all right, at the basement,
Right.
go out the door, and somebody kidnap her. First of all, you gotta go up a goddamn rickety ass driveway,
With her mom and her
you know, and all
I
that.
find it odd,
There's no way.
personally find it odd that they constantly go to that flower bed to justify why that was there, and it just kind of gives me the EBGBs. Yeah, EBGBs about it.
Yeah.
Would you mind going and so we can just, Allie? Oh, is her name Allie? Allie. Why it was.
Okay, so they also show up and they don't know the name of the people they're fixing to interviews, which tells me they don't know much about what all went on. I mean, if I didn't know the name of the people, I wouldn't. It'd be hard for me to understand why I was interviewing them.
Well, hopefully they're held accountable. I mean, it's sickening what you do, Joe. You know, it's a child. Does a lot of people know about that around here? This case, like, is it talked about or just it is? We were.
Social media moved all, it's all over.
Has media came and talked to you at all? Did any media come talk to you? Any media come talk to you? No. Oh, what about police? Did police?
Yeah,
come there?
she could have had
They did.
autism.
TBI?
Oh,
Oh, I can only imagine.
I know that,
And it's not much of a fault. And Allie, you guys are victims here. Allie, I just want you to know that. You guys are victims of this matter. You don't deserve
what?
what's going on.
You know,
I know that.
I'm Molly Golightly, and I have one of the biggest voices in the YouTube community. If there's anything that you want to say, please say it. Just say it now, and I promise that message will be heard loud and clear.
John was on Mother and Grandmother knows where that baby is. And probably the father does too.
Okay. And where's the evidence of that? She says it quite matter of factly. Where's the evidence? Because we all want her found.
What were you gonna say?
I was on YouTube the other night. I had a lady text message me.
This is JLR stream, you all. It's got looks like a lot of ads put on it.
On Facebook. She went through some of my friends' list, and she got a homeless sister in New York.
That makes
Don
sense.
was on Facebook, and he said, well, YouTube, and he said that my 12-year-old daughter even said her name and what we called her.
I heard it. Has a badass body.
Has a body from fucking hell.
Yes, we have that.
And
Straight up, that's sick.
well, I do know
She
where.
keeps on-
So when you heard that, what happened? Like, what was your thoughts when you heard that? You were like,
fucking sick motherfucker, something's
Hold
happening.
on.
I mean, we
I-
can catch charges. That's it. Like, no grown ass man needs to be talking about a 12-year-old like that.
And I know that he also even gave their alcohol because he gave my grandkids alcohol.
And why was it not reported to the police? Why did you not call the law?
And did something. Who? Donnie.
Donnie did something to your grandkids? What did Donnie do to your grandkids? When?
When we used to hang out.
Did you notice that? Molested them, probably. So not only, and she says probably meaning I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm guessing. I'm pulling stuff out of my hind end. But not only is she putting this SA label on Summer, but now she's doing it to her own grandkids. Oh, I just don't get it. Because if this is facts, if these people are being honest, why on earth was it not reported? If this was facts, Summer could have possibly never went missing if it was reported.
And they used to stay the night, but I stayed the night once up there, didn't like it, and didn't. But the kids, I thought she was supposed to be fun.
Did you see bruises on them or on your?
They had the kids were always playing around.
But Don, you're saying Don Wells gave your grandkids alcohol?
That's what the little one says.
That's what what's your little one's name?
Michelle.
Michelle. How old's Michelle?
Why would he ask for her name? She's a little. Little should tell you shouldn't be putting her name on the internet. Now, we say Hunter's name because in Chris Madonna's interview, Allie gave permission for him to say his name.
She's not. When was this? How old was she then? How old was she
What
then?
about, you said about,
7, 8.
7 or 8?
You had
And
a
she said that Don gave her alcohol?
I don't have.
Oh my gosh.
My
Oh my
great
God.
But when CPS went to go and
that is in a mental institution. She's been there since March.
oh yeah, she ain't getting out anytime soon.
But when Journey.
What about, did Don give him drugs, you think?
Why?
What kind of drug? Like, what would it be? Like,
I have to sit on the floor.
I know
Well,
we-
not now, but in the summer.
They sure are storytellers.
what about who's her name?
And-
Brandis' mother? No, what
I've
about the
said it
mother?
before. If they are guilty,
Did you ever meet her?
they need prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that's
You see her
me
do
being
drugs ever?
generous.
No, she just popped her pills. Her pills.
Seriously,
Popping pills. Did you ever see her hit any children?
She
my son was in school, he was getting.
That if they don't
arrested,
listen,
and
she's
they-
gonna whoop
schools
her
are
ass.
local to-
But I heard that she did.
Or she did? Who'd you hear that from?
The kid, her kid.
I don't get it.
Her kids?
If you notice, there's a lot of probably, I heard, going on in this conversation. Here in a minute, you actually get to hear Allie speak because the great grandma pretty much keeps her in check. But right now, she's just all over the place.
Oh, her kids. Wow.
My kid.
You think she was part of this? Like she covered up or something?
I think she was involved with something.
And we're
Yeah.
sorry everything's going.
The mother, the grandmother.
It's not fair.
I
That
think
little
it's
girl is buried on their property.
I swear to God that.
I'm telling you guys, we're all on the same page.
Why won't they let any authorities on
How
their
many?
property to search?
Don't they all
If it was my
like
kid, I'd be like, have at it.
Yeah. You got nothing to
Matter of
hide.
fact, he put no trespassing signs all over the
Oh.
trees.
Yeah, she was on a couple surveillance cameras that day. And then you've also got the video that was at 309 where she was sleeping on the milk jugs. And they also took search dogs, scent dogs, and cadaver dogs up there. I would think it would have hit on the truck if she was dead before she got home.
Around the house. Oh, this is under surveillance, on trespassing. No one can come
Again, though, I'm no professional. I'm just a country girl with an opinion.
on my property. He doesn't even want packages going up to his thing. He has a drum at the driveway at 110. Yeah. And he doesn't want anybody.
Why would she have like?
The grandmother left state?
None of them are allowed.
Who?
I knew she wasn't allowed, but I remember she took off because she didn't want to answer questions because she's been through
That
this
she came
before. Candace's
Yeah.
mother, Candace.
And her daughter, Rosemary.
It was my understanding, didn't Grandma leave about the same time every year? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Blind, Candace's sister,
When missing.
Yeah.
went missing, and I know where that girl's buried because they told me a story one night that where they used to live, there was a cement driveway. her kids were 3 and 4 and said, "Mommy's there, mommy's there." Why didn't they ever?
Where would that be? Like, where was that at?
Wisconsin or whatever.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Probably
wherever.
she thought from Wisconsin. Kansas got really drunk one night and said, my sister was supposed to meet someone at a bar, her friends, and she never made it.
Who would have been responsible for her sister's death, the mom or Candace?
Both probably. Or Candace anyway, because I know Candace.
Which one?
The daughter.
Okay.
Do you think CPS should ever put the boys back in that house?
No, not at all. No.
No. I appreciate your passion because
No.
it seems like you know, and you know.
Those kids come here in the summer before summer does. They're filthy, and so is the mother. They never cooked dinner. They always ate frozen pizza and whatever else.
The little one, Waylon, he showed up here and he had a 3rd-degree burn.
What? Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, Kentucky homeowners, what if you could cut your electric bills by up to 50 to 90% every single?
Yeah, on a wood stove down there in the basement. She showed me that.
Yeah, she
got burnt out.
twice a year is what I understood. She,
Or,
and I mean, she come back right when she said she was going to last time.
They all slept down there.
All the kids slept down in that basement? All in one room?
Summer slept with mommy and daddy in the bed. They didn't even have a door in the bed. No, well, who thinks he has to have them?
They sectioned the whole part off.
Yeah, they sectioned that up. Yeah. Because we went up there.
When he did her interview with her, she took him through her house.
When she got her taxes, she came down to my.
Yes, there was a CPA or a CPS case open. To my understanding, it was pretty much they were calling CPS on each other. But as far as giving minors alcohol and abusing kids, like hitting them or in any way, abusive anyway, the protocol isn't to call CPS first because it needs took care of right then. And I'm a foster mom. The protocol is to call the police. That way the kids can be removed from that environment. None of these people did that. Now that is if you see it. And the way these people are talking, they saw it with their own eyes. Everybody saw that the kids being abused. Nobody called the law.
So I went and I said, she wanted us to go up and visit, but the kids wanted to see the dogs. And so I only did it for the kids to say in
It is ridiculous.
bathroom. But
It's sad. It's sad, and we want answers. I mean, we want answers. We want to find her.
I wonder what happened.
We want to know.
The one in the purple is Allie's mom, Sherry. The one standing beside Allie is her great grandma. And then Allie's in the blue.
Here, you guys love her.
we love it like she was our own. I tried to help with the kids and everything. I like to spend the night at my house, gave them a fully cooked meal. They would take showers.
Her own little sister.
TBI speak to you?
Yeah.
What'd they say? Like, what were they asking?
They did.
Just went over the.
Did that day what happened?
Yeah.
They were
Before.
They weren't close talking about it.
How many TBI came?
First time it was.
Bobby was here.
Well, that was around.
I completely agree. They should have been. If there was rats and all that in that house, they should have been removed. But now, like I said, when it comes to like people seeing children given alcohol or beat or abused in any fashion, they see it with their eyes. They need to call the law and have the kids removed.
That was a police guy. I see the first time they came over, there was
Yes, Stacy, it did.
two. One of another phone call. And they came back.
Yeah, that was great.
No, that was when I was getting ready to go work. Remember? That's
Leslie was here, she had leave for work. They were gonna wait me for that day, and she said, "Don't you dare." And then I was gonna go to work. Mom was gonna bring me, and late, and they came back. And then that guy that tried to kidnap Hunter.
Who tried to kidnap Hunter?
Jeremy Duggan. Yeah. Yeah, he worked with bikers against Georgia. He
Bikers against trafficking, human trafficking.
yeah. And child abuse. And
So why did he try to kidnap Hunter?
Hunter's father had reached out to him, I guess, and was concerned for my son's safety.
Because of this Wells incident.
But he didn't care until it's freezing out there. He didn't care
Right there, people.
until
Right there. People want to say they was not paid for this interview. Well, now, it looks to me like Molly Golightly just put money into Allie's pocket.
there was a reward out.
I'll rewind it so you can look again.
And
Right here.
So why did he try to kidnap Hunter?
Hunter's father had reached out to him, I guess, and was concerned for my son's safety.
Because of this Wells incident.
But he didn't care until
It's freezing out there.
he didn't
See?
care until
Now, I could be wrong,
the reward
but
out.
I'm pretty sure she paid her right there.
Jeremy came up with an idea to come up and get Hunter.
I'm a needing mods on this channel. Bad. I'm new to YouTube. If you would be interested in being a mod on my channel, put a 1 in the chat and I'll mod you.
From Tennessee to New York. I panicked. I went to the police department. They told me if anyone shows up, call them and they'd be right over.
Now they
Well, no one showed up.
40 acres of land.
So I went to work. Grandma was here with the kids.
11.2.
Well, I think there's more than that.
Grandma was here with the
One
kids.
time she said that
I'm on my lunch break.
they owned over
And I
like
get
30
my phone's going blast.
acres of land.
Listen,
We went on a couple
I got
different parts
people
where they
calling.
used to ride the boys used to ride
Hunter
the
just sent me a Snapchat of this.
Okay, see if you're modded. Just
They
comment
drive
something.
down there.
Anything.
I got a few words. I
What about that shed at the bottom of their hill? What is
called
that?
Grandma up. So listen,
That
Dad's going to get you and
At the
Hunter.
bottom of the hill, I never been in that one.
The beach hill right there.
But
Right.
if you go down the road a little bit,
And I said,
nerve-wracking for you guys.
that's where they used to ride the dirt bikes, the
I
boys.
said
And
on
there's
the
a
porch.
garage there, and there was like,
I
oh,
sat on the porch.
an old vehicle there. There was a,
And,
Good deal, good deal.
So
and the kids would wander off and
we
go
all
play
met
in the
at the
water.
secret location.
Tree.
First we
The
went to
bag.
the Kingsport City Police Department. Told everyone there. They said we don't want to know where anyone's at because you don't know who's watching or nothing. All right. They said if they show up, because we told them not to show up, because they called them when they were coming, that we were gonna.
They do a big old spill over the Andrew
You might be asking yourself,
Coming to
can
get,
you actually create
uh,
high quality live
Humphrey.
streams for free?
They would get in trouble. So me and Leslie came
Blue Moon. If you don't care, comment something.
and
That way I can make sure that it modded you. People are allowed to have their opinions as long as they're not disrespectful. And putting ridiculous speculations in the chat. I'm not for that, and absolutely no talking about other creators and no name calling.
Me, Leslie, and her husband met Jerry Dutton on my porch. Toe to toe.
So they actually made contact with your son without your knowledge,
Oh, yeah.
and convinced him to meet them.
No, he was scared.
Oh, and
Well,
he
he
let
was
you know.
scared,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he let everyone know. He was.
Yes, Brian, I need all the help I can get.
Online information and
Wow.
If you guys had a message for Don Wells, what would it be? Say.
keep your mouth shut about Bear. That's what we call her, and that's what he called her. Keep your mouth. You're gonna.
Okay, I modded you.
Not only your kids, but ours as well.
Just comment something
And
so I
what's the
know it
message,
worked.
if you have a message for Candace Wells,
Same thing. Listen, she was on Dr. Phil.
What did you think of that interview? We talked to the people at City Hall and they asked if.
Oh, no, I appreciate all of you. Thank
Have you
you.
ever heard of that? No.
No,
Oh, okay.
never.
All right. Yeah.
She knows.
Now,
She knows, that's why she walked off the stage.
I am from Eastern Kentucky, and I will straight up tell you, I had never heard nothing about the cornbread mafia. And I mean, the only thing I found on a cornbread mafia is a man that grew marijuana like back in the 80s or 70s or something like that, who ended up going to prison.
I feel like I'm being interrogated all over again.
Let me ask you, if Hunter was missing, and which you know that if the child's missing, you're going to get interrogated. But if your child was missing, would you give a damn?
If they came in and looked and searched your property, hell no. Go
Would
ahead.
you give a damn?
Tear it up, right?
Tear it up.
Tear it up.
If it resulted in finding your
No,
child?
because I've had a missing kid before.
Yeah.
My 17-year-old.
I'm real close to that. I'm from a holler. I mean, when I say a holler, I mean it's a holler. It makes Ben Hill look like the city. Yes, my email is coldcasecrystal@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat.
And he was controlling and
She kept running off. Every time she ran off, whether she was in state custody or not, I was out here beating that paper day in, day out.
me too.
I missed the whole week.
And she would run from places, the lockup centers and everything. She called me,
When I found out where she was, I went banging on the Jake's door.
you know. So then everybody else.
Why do you feel like when, like,
And if you notice right there, she said that when her daughter would run away, whether she was with her or whether she was in state's custody, well, Allie, why was your daughter in state's custody?
have you just had it with Candace? Like, do you feel like she's ruined your life in a way, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, Mom had a phone number. Mom,
I fell out. I warned her not to
Mom's
go
not
up
being
there.
friendly
I
with her.
asked her not to.
I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
Begged her.
I know how
I
it is.
begged my daughter, and we got in a
And I
fight.
really tried being there for her. But she crossed the line. I had money that started coming up missing and everything. And me, I'm the type of person, I have to do it myself. I'm not going to sit here and listen to people, what they say about others, because I know how it is.
You get that from me.
Did Candace ever cheat on Don Wells?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
With who?
Yes.
Like who?
Oh my God. Who's
Name
that
'em.
guy that we met? She made.
One day she met a guy down here.
Okay.
The Shell station.
And Ma, did you just
Invited him to
comment
come
and see if
visit
it worked?
with us.
Took him swimming with us because she felt sorry for him.
And then
Bought him everything. Brought him up to her house.
told Donnie that it was my
Told Donnie
friend.
that it was her friend.
And I told Donnie that it wasn't my
And they
friend.
tried saying it was, I'm like, no.
And what happened?
I guess so. The guy
He
stayed there for a
he
couple
stayed
days.
there for a couple days, and then Donnie got sick of him because Uncle Dad guy did was tough shit.
He
And
didn't know anything
dropped
about
him
work.
off. And
What was his name?
I don't even remember that.
I don't know, but he used to.
So what do they do? Meet people and just move them in? I'm very confused right now. But I guess the moral of this part of the story is Candace was an adulterer too, to add to everything else. These people have stories to tell.
Was he a younger guy? Like, is he an older guy?
He's probably in his 30s at that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 40s.
I think he was
Yes.
in his 30s.
Let me ask
You know any other times? Any other times?
Yeah,
Yeah, with her boyfriend.
With your boy, Jose. Oh, Jose was your ex-boyfriend. We've
Well-
heard
Oh, we know about Jose, don't we?
about that guy's name.
Yeah.
Jose was Is that the one where Candace Don threatened and then
Yeah.
it created?
Yes, Blue Moon. The property has been searched numerous times. And to my knowledge, they never needed a search warrant to do it.
Oh, that's your ex-boyfriend? I did
Well,
not know.
see, he came up with Hunter.
Now, like Predator Hunter Nation, Ernie, that wants to go up there and search, I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't want random people on my property searching either. They could plant something. I mean, what authority do they have? What can they do if they do find anything? I'd rather it be law enforcement.
His father, so they were all going to stay up the Candace.
And me and him, we started clicking.
So what?
Together, wait a minute, and they got
And we got
together.
together, so Candace was drunk and jealous and started being all over him. And I'm like, you know what?
No, you and her had.
And here we get another ad.
Healthy and feel your best.
Ooh.
You gotta try Kachava. Kachava.
Seems like somebody took Molly's advice about putting an ad every 5 minutes.
An argument. Yes. Yeah. You come home and His Royal Highness stayed up there with yeah, and we were to bring the sheriff.
Yeah, I had to call the sheriff's department to go up there and get my kids because that morning she threatened to blow my head off.
Oh, Candace did?
Yeah.
She threatened to blow your head
Because
off?
I told her mother came in.
Yes, that is very sad.
Candace and her mom got in an argument over Jose.
Because Candace's mother wanted Jose
Because
too.
Candace's
Oh
mom
my
wanted
goodness.
Jose. Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody in all the world and all the land wanted Jose. Oh my God.
And there was
And he politely told her where to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you with Jose anymore?
Hell no.
What's Jose's last name?
I don't even remember.
She don't remember his last name. She's got details on everything in the world. She don't remember Jose's last name. Don't worry, Allie. All YouTube knows it.
Where's he from?
She remembers. We talked about this like a while
So did you
back.
call the police here on them when she threatened to blow your head off, or did you call the
No,
police?
I went to work and I gave her till. I went to work and I gave her till 11 o'clock. Gave her mom gas money to bring my kids back to my mother or my grandmother's.
I believe
They
she
did
took
it.
that nap too.
And so all right, now we're gonna play. You wanna play games? I called Kingsport City Police Department. They told me how to call Sullivan County Sheriff's Department. Called Sullivan County. They told me how to call Hawkins County. So I go meet Hawkins County up at the church.
Now listen to
Then I had
this.
to go up with my mother.
So you did make a police report?
no.
Well, I don't.
Call the
Yeah,
police.
and then the mom goes, no.
I mean, they were
When was this? When did this happen?
September.
About a year ago.
Oh, a year ago.
Let me ask you, like you were just saying just a little bit ago that, you know, if your child was missing, you could be in the basement. How often has Candace and Dawn went out searching for their daughter that you guys know about?
I don't. All I know is about the times like I know they were down here at the summertime.
But they
I will say this. There's no way anybody knows what goes on in Candace and Dawn's house 24/7. They don't know if they've been searching. Now, in the main beginning, I was in all them Facebook groups. I did see a woman post that Don Wells, it was like a warning. Don Wells was by my house and seen my daughter today. Said he was looking for his daughter. Okay. So that kind of says he was looking. But how do we know what they're doing and what they're not? Now, with that being said, some of the things that they are doing does not look right. I mean, I would be shouting it from the rooftops. Please help me find my kid. I don't know that I'd be able to sleep. I'd be looking for her constantly.
What do you mean?
they never had any pictures of
What, was she unattended or something?
Probably drunk.
No, they were walking in the parade and she was walking and she was walking through.
But yeah, but how often have you heard of them actually going out, passing out
None.
flyers, asking,
Gosh.
finding out?
They never had
They were holding a prayer vigil over here in Gordon Park somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
just a second, people. I will be right back. I've got somebody knocking at my door. Let me see here. Okay, everyone. Something has come up, so I will try to go live tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, probably Tuesday. But you all be good, and remember, like I always say, it takes 0 effort to be a decent human being. Thanks, everybody. It's been great.